What's cracking, y'all? You are now watching Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today. What's cracking? What's cracking? What's cracking? Back with some more, actually, I think this is the first time we've ever covered Robert Parish individually. We've talked about him, with our other Boston Celtics videos and our Larry Bird videos, but this is our first time really digging into Robert Parish, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, 4-time champion, 3 times with the Boston Celtics and 1 time in 1997 with MJ and the Bulls, 9-time All-Star. Man, that was good any given night, 15 to 20 points, throw in, 10 plus rebounds. Solid contributor to a championship contending team. Both ends of the floor, great hands, could finish well, solid footwork. He was just the type of guy that you really wanted on your team. A class act, and he stood up for his teammates and believed in them just like they believed in him. So, with no further ado, shout out to Dutch T again for providing this collection of videos for me to react to and put together. It's going to be a collection of videos, like I just said. So the first one is going to be Parish 75 Stories. The next one, Robert Parish Defense. The one after that, a Parish Mixtape. The one after that will be Bird and Parish versus the Heat, a basketball clinic from 1991, where Larry Bird had 28, 11, 8, 2, and 1, and the Chief had 31, 7, 4, 1, and 4. All right. One after that will be Parish on the Big Three. Then Parish takes down Lambert. Then Parish compares Michael Jordan and Larry Bird. Then Parish at age 43. Parish on 4 teams. Just one called Robert Parish the Chief. And then some more Robert Parish highlights. I know that's a mouthful, but don't worry about it. It'll all be a smooth transition, as smooth as I can make it. All right. Once again, Dutch T, appreciate all the hard work and research you've been doing to get this stuff out to me. And let's get into it.
He was called the Chief for his stoic nature. Big man Robert Parish anchored the Celtics in the 1980s. Known for his mid-range jumper and defensive dominance, Parish won 4 NBA championships and remains the all-time leader in games played.
And there are 5 seconds left. Now, Robert steals the ball! Robert steals the ball! Oh, my goodness! What a play by Robert Parish!
Chief was the foundation of the team. It wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have happened without Chief, because he just anchored that middle, and he was just a towering pillar of strength, and just so focused, so disciplined, and he didn't want any attention. He didn't want any of the nonsense that surrounds the greatness of a wonderful basketball team. He wanted to do his job, and he just wanted to be there with the guys.
It feels very good. I'm happy to win it all.
Without a doubt, Robert Parish could have played today's game, because he would have had 3-point range. I truly believe it. The way he ran and how he would stop at 15, and you're not blocking his shot. Think about it. The most unstoppable shot that just like Kareem. Ball extended way above his head, and he's shooting it in. And it's hard to understand how he would be able to do that, but he did it, and he didn't worry about anybody blocking his shot. And so a tremendous weapon, and a guy that loved the game, because he played 20 plus years. I mean, see, that's when you know, especially a big man, because big men sometimes are a little bit, I'm playing it because I'm big. He played it because he loved the game.
Robert took me in his wing and he basically was like, hey, I'm gonna show you what not to do in the NBA, where not to go, and you're gonna be professional. And his first rule to me is like, you gotta wear a suit to the game. This is the 1990s. You gotta wear a suit to the game. You're a professional. Wear a suit. If you buy 5 suits, I'll match and buy 5 suits for you. So I came out of the box with 10 suits because Robert was like, listen, this is what we're gonna do. If I'm gonna be your mentor, be a professional and show you how to be a pro from day one, you gotta dress the part.
Isaiah, we're talking about the Chief, Robert Parish. Won championships, was likely part of the original Big Three.
Yes.
Your thoughts on how he continued successfully?
I mean, you know, the trade that brought he and McHale to Boston at the same time, that was unfair enough. And then they drafted Larry Bird, you know. So when you talk about Robert Parish joining that group, you know, the thing that I remember most about him, you know, it was an in-game situation. You know, we always had to come back and double team him or McHale or Bird, you know, because they were so good in the post. So he's shooting it over, and, you know, I think we got a picture of John Sally back there. So he's shooting it over John Sally, and I yell, "Oh, that's off." And he said, "No, baby, I'm double nickel." He said, "I shoot 55, I don't miss." But Chief was always, and he never looked like he was running fast. You know, he was always like, you know.
Very stoic.
Yeah, and then he would take off. I mean, but he had a great sense of humor. Always, you know, good to play against. Highly competitive. And, you know, again, you know, the Celtics were our mentors, so they taught us a lot about winning.
What was the best part of his game that as an opponent you hated?
I hated it because he always seemed like he was hurt. Like he always had this ankle that he would fall down on his ankle and he would stumble to get up, and everybody was like, at least on our team, it's like, "Oh, the Chief is dead, the Chief is dead, he's down." And he would rise up and he would get up, and before you know it, he was sprinting down the court, he would dunk it on the fast break, and then he would like, but the Chief, he was the Chief.
Robert Parish.
The one thing I remember about Robert, I think we were playing San Antonio, I think it was in San Antonio, early in my career. Robert had about a 20-minute stretch where he dominated at a level where I was watching thinking, it looks like a high school guy playing with junior high. I said, there's no way it can be that easy. He had a 20-minute stretch, like he would just tip the ball to himself. Then he would catch it and shoot it and score it. And he did things, blocking shots, like I just block and catch it and throw it out. And I was like, there's no way it can be that. I'm a young in my career. I'm a rookie. There's no way it can be that easy. After that, I looked at him differently because I never dreamed you'd see a guy dominate. It was like he's a man amongst boys, and it was really eye-opening as far as, wow, this guy can flat out play.
We know we got Larry Bird, you know, you got McHale, and so forth and so on, but you still got to have that big guy, and he's doing the job for us.
So one thing that I just want to point out when Isaiah Thomas was talking about, oh, you know, it was the first Big Three, you know, they got Parish and McHale together, and then he said, and then they drafted Bird. I don't know if he meant to put that in chronological order, but that's not in chronological order. Bird was drafted first, and when he got drafted, initially McHale and Parish weren't on the team at the time. They came later. Just want to throw that out. And even McHale, I don't think he was a all-star caliber player his first year. At least his first year. I'd have to go back and look. But anyway, yeah. All right, Robert Parish career highlights. Amazing defense. Let's go.
Robert Reed to Billy Pulse. Rebound is, rather should say, rejected by Parish. And that here is Ford. That's Archibald. There's a draw, in other words. Here's Robert Parish against Malone. Touch shot. Score 6:45 to go. First period. Larry Bird. Reed playing the tough defense as usual in this series.
All in rhythm.
Parish has hit another one. Rob slow it down, but they had 4 points.
All in rhythm.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Robert Parish again. And he comes up with the ball. To Willoughby. Blocked by Robert Parish. Off to ML Carr. Parish and Moses Malone bumping. Remember now, Malone playing with 3 personals. And Parish by 2. 38 seconds left in the first half. Henderson.
That's strength, boy.
Henderson to Robert Reed. Reed got to get in a little closer. Blocked by...
Get out of here. Good defense, keeping his hands up. Give me that. Eat that, boy. That was a tough angle. You're killing that pivot spin move, man. Great teamwork. Whoop. Now you see me, now you don't, baby. What a lovely pass. Dope video. Yeah, I forgot Rob had played with a handful of other teams there. Because initially with the Golden State Warriors, then got traded to the Boston Celtics, then with the Charlotte Hornets before getting to the Chicago Bulls there. So, yeah. Good highlights. Defense, man. You see how he wasn't quite so easy to move down there under the paint. And he was absorbing that contact and just using his length and keeping his heads up and, being able to block the shot at the perfect timing. All right. Next video is another Parish mixtape. Let's get it. Ultimate career highlight mix.
We love Robert Parish.
Bill Walton, you love everybody. He can really move really well for his size, man. Oh, gave Kareem a taste of his own medicine.
Be able to make some hay on. Transition, the right side of your screen is Buck Williams' arm around Mikhail. Parish is guarding Jaminski, but Buck Williams is guarding Parish. As soon as he sees the rebound is gotten, off he goes up the court. Buck Williams way behind Robert Parish. A guard has to pick up Parish, and that's too little and too late to stop this type of thing. So.
Robert was fantastic. He was a guy that was just competitive. Robert
And had no back down, man. It's nice seeing him go toe-to-toe with Kareem there. All right, next one is the basketball clinic with Larry Bird.
Bagley didn't play at all last year, rehabbing from a knee injury, but he has started every game this year. Bird to Gamble, foul line jumper on the turn.
Oh, no.
One of the best field goal percentage shoot off to Bird on the three-point line into Parish. They double him out to Gamble, the 17-footer. Good. Kevin Gamble has both Celtic baskets, and they lose a great fake a moment ago. Inside cycling, spins into the key, missed the reverse on a block by Bird. Larry Bird comes out with a steal. A lead for Parish. Into cycling, dunks it, and draws the foul.
And then Bird.
From the backcourt. Larry Bird to Robert Parish.
Eric, that's what we talked about. Robert Parish, you'll see them start even on the replay, but Robert Parish just outruns Ronnie. Ronnie doesn't expect the pass. This has happened over and over again in Celtic history. Bird, the best there is, looking up court. On the missed shot, Parish is behind him. This is just a sheer hustle play. All the way down the court, just beats him down.
Parish missed that free throw. Cycling got the crowd stirring here at the Garden. Larry Bird, right sideline, long all over him. Bird uses the Parish screen, comes right to the circle, give and go.
Larry kills those, man. You think he about to pull up? Nope. Dump to the basket.
Cycling doesn't step up. He's got the late pass with Parish, who created a great screen on Grant Long.
And then Parish had a great chemistry, as he did with pretty much all his teammates.
And Larry Bird hits it. First basket for Larry Bird, who is guarded by Bimbo Coles. Off the dribble, over to Fox, head of the circle, starts the drive off to Bird, the right wing, 18-footer, pulls out.
One thing Bimbo ought to do on Shaw a little bit is put a little pressure on him.
Inside the three-point line, pops the long jumper, rings around, rebounded by Bird. Out left for Shaw, into the middle he comes, full court, out of Gamble, up to Parish, and he dunks. Great ball movement by Boston. 10 points for Robert Parish. Parish and Gamble with 18 of Boston's 26. Bird inbounds, plays to the court, finds Shaw, the reverse, no good. Parish dunks it in.
Parish on the cleanup.
Yes, that was a long 2 seconds. I can't believe they...
Bird with that pass, that angle.
Bird guarded by Edwards, spins into the lane, arches the jumper high over Cycling and in.
And he got caught on a switch there with Kevin.
Left in the second period. Bagley on the dribble, right to left, stops out of the circle. Off to Bird, left wing, 22-footer. Good.
Water.
Larry Bird with long in his face.
Buckets.
His fourth field goal.
Instead of letting him use his quickness on the perimeter against you to his advantage.
Celtics looking to tie. They go to Fox inside of Parish.
Good ball move. Oh, great left hand.
So they tie it and they get a chance to go up. The foul goes on Miami's Grant Long, I believe. It's his second.
Robert Parish is so good at picking people off and then stepping right through the gap to the hoop. He does it automatically, and they all find him.
This is in a Parish almost knocked away. Chief left of the lane, out to Fox, puts the three up and in. Rick Fox, his 10th made three of the year. Bagley with 10 to shoot, lobs it into Parish right of the key. Turns.
A young Rick Fox.
Robert Parish, he's got 17 points. Nice on fire tonight. He's got 14 in the first half. Here's Parish the other way again, beating Cycling down the court for the lay-in.
I don't think Ronnie understands. He's
9 of 12 for the field, but it's tied at 50 with 2 minutes left. Here's Bagley feeding Parish in the lane. He hooks off the glass and hits. 21 for Robert Parish here at right wing with 1:35 left in the first half. Off to Gamble. Gamble guarded closely in the Bird. He lays it up over long and hits. Larry Bird. He has 3 field goals in the quarter, 10. Larry Bird on the right wing, Burton on him, inside Parish, right of the key, moves into the lane, the short jump is up and in.
Oh, Robert, give it a break, come on, give it a break.
Now uses the Parish screen, comes right wing, off to the Chief, right of the circle, back out to Bagley, 4 on the shot clock, it's 3 in the air, and good. Oh, that's a tough shot for Boston. John Bagley with his first 3-point goal of the year. Gamble ahead for Bagley. Bagley into the front court with the right hand, down the lane, off to Bird, he pops the 3, good.
That's not a bad
Butter.
point guard to find, standing all alone in the corner.
Left of the circle, back top shot, Bird. Rice right there with him. Bird picks up the dribble, 10 to shoot. He will on the rim, rolling and falling. Larry Bird puts it up soft. He's got 15 points. Left wing, Lewis. 6:03 left in the third. Lewis pulls up from 15. Rimming, no. Rebound. Bird lays it in and is fouled by Long. What happened there? Somehow Bird got kills. 87-81, Miami down 6. Bird fakes the 20-footer, moves inside, shoots the jumper and in. 20 points, 11 rebounds for Bird. Long Bird, right wing, guarded closely by Rice, who keeps reaching in. Bird to the baseline. Bird pops the 15-footer. Hits. A very difficult shot.
That was so tough.
20 off to Bagley with the Celtics up 15. Bagley racing into the lane. His pass deflected, taken by
Oh,
Parrish.
good. Good pump fake. Got two of them in the air. Pivot. Come right back around, face the basket.
But they trail at 186 off the break. Fox to Parrish. He puts it up from 5 and hits. Robert Parrish, awkward but ever so effective. He's now got 20.
The turnover that really hits him. It's the 2 points you lose and the 2 points they pick up. It really becomes almost a 4-point play.
Parrish for Fox, and Fox down the lane for the layup. Boy, that was sweet looking. 5-3 tonight, but he's shooting 41% from three-point distance this year. 8th best in the NBA. Bird, fadeaway in the lane. He got it. Larry Bird has 24 points. And the Celtics are might be. Bus did show up on time today. That's right. Here's Bagley, right side jumper. Good. But long two for Bagley.
And Tom Bagley was shot.
Scoop is blocked. Bagley gets it back. Tied up by Smith. Out to Bird. Fakes. Now shoots from 20. Got it. 8 points in the quarter for Larry Bird. 26 on the night. And Morton down the lane. Feeds it to Askin. Stolen by Bird. Bird goes behind the Bagley over to Parrish, who missed the dunk but got fouled by Cycling. The artistry of Larry Bird in Boston.
And once again, the old man.
Bro, that was a nasty fast break. I wish he wouldn't have got fouled, or at least I wish the bucket would have went in. I was like, I knew Larry was going to do some type of magic. Ooh, that was a shifty pass. Love it. Love it, love it. Yeah, they absolutely put the hammer down on the Heat. Couldn't do nothing with them. All right, next video is Parish on the Big Three.
I always have said 80% of playing in the NBA is confidence. And every team that I played on in the 80s, none of the players was lacking in confidence at all. Matter of fact, unshakable confidence.
DJ again to make the inbound pass. The double team in Bird. Larry, fake, fall away.
Arrogance was floating high in there. You know, that swagger, knowing that it's going to take a monstrous effort to beat us. And I would have said to my teammates, when we were warming up, we had won the game in the warm-up because a lot of times the opponent was watching us warm up, and I used to walk back to the huddle and say, this game is over, all we got to do is jump on it. Because anytime a team is focused on you before a jump ball, they already lost.
Bird finds Parrish. That's the Boston Celtics.
Bird just hit him with a screen. Didn't get the back to the head. Coming long pass to Bird. Oh, what a pass to Parrish.
One thing I can say about that team was that we checked our egos at the door, because nobody allowed their egos or their personal goals to get in the way. You know, we 1 through 12 were focused on trying to win the championship, trying to be the best team possible.
There you go. Hustle, baby. Hustle.
One thing I can say about the three of us, no matter who you were, whether you was one of the top teams in the league or one of the worst teams in the league, we played the game the same way. We were bringing our best game at you, and you're going to take your best game to beat us. And that's one of the things I'm most proud of. We never took a night off, because when you talk the talk, you got to bag it up.
Bird with the pass to the legs of Sigma. Oh, you are watching what greatness is all about.
Now that I look back on it, I realize now just how good we were. You know, we were a very good basketball team for a long time.
16 out of 40, the greatest winning tradition. You did it with hard work and teamwork. You've earned it. It's yours. Enjoy it.
Yeah, they had a phenomenal core there, no question about it. No lies there. I mean, we all know they have arguably that 86 team, arguably the greatest basketball team ever assembled, outside of the Dream Team, of course. All right, next up is Parish takes down Bill Laimbeer.
Play by Darren Day. It doesn't fall. The tip by Parish. He can't get it to fall. And Parish takes Laimbeer to the ground with a right forearm.
Bro, he was like, yeah.
Well, they had said it was only a matter of time till somebody did this.
Let's watch. You see a left elbow.
Yo, everybody.
Parish came in the left.
Everybody outside of Detroit Pistons Nation all stood up and clapped. Every city around the world all stood up and clapped for Robert Parish. You know how everybody felt about Bill Laimbeer. Everybody's all about physicality and toughness, but that guy literally goes out trying to hurt people. He's an asshole. Watch that one more time.
Play by Darren Day. It doesn't fall. The tip by Parish. He can't get it to fall, and Parish takes Laimbeer to the ground with a right forearm.
Parish wanted the smoke, boy. Give me all the smoke. I like it in real time.
The tip by Parish. He can't get it to fall, and Parish takes Laimbeer to.
And I bet you Bill Laimbeer did a bunch of cheap shot BS at previous moments in that game. You already know the kind of guy he is. Horrible. Horrible, horrible. Good on you, Parish. Good on you. Knock his ass out. Next is Parish compares Michael Jordan and Bird.
You're going to have to run me through. And fans, I got a chance to talk to Robbie yesterday on the phone. And I want you to tell me this story that you told me about Michael Jordan. When you and Michael Jordan kind of came to, kind of little differences about your opinion about how the game was played when you played with Chicago with Michael Jordan.
Yeah, how the if you want to call it a confrontation came about. Phil was alternating players, second team on the first team on the second team. And so we were scrimmaging. We played like 6 games of going to 5 points. And so after the first 2 games, Phil put me with the second unit where I always play with, my boys, and then he put Longley on back with the first team. Luke Longley, that's his name. And so we proceeded to kick their butts like 4 straight games. And Michael took offense to it. So I asked him, how did he like that butt whooping?
No. This is a real podcast. How you like that ass whooping? That's
I didn't know whether it was a family show or not.
This ain't family. We good.
But since I don't have to use a filter, I asked him, how did he like that ass whooping we just put on? And he took offense to it because clearly no one ever manned up to him, challenged him. So he said that he was going to say that if I wasn't careful, he was going to kick my ass. And I told him, I'm not in awe of you. I played with some of the baddest fellas that walking the court, and I reeled off some names, I'm calling you like Cedric, Bird, McHale, Bill Walton, Tiny, and I'm supposed to be in awe of you. He's looking at me like I had slapped his mother.
I love that story. And then you went even further, and I think you talked about one of the rookies came over to you and said, man, I can't believe you talked to Michael like that.
Yeah, Derek Dickey couldn't believe that I talked to, Michael like that because clearly, Michael was the alpha. He was his team. He ran the ball club, and everybody kind of got out of his way and let him do his thing. And I understand that. But like I said, I'm not in awe of him. I was a champion when I came there. And with all due respect to he and Scotty and Dennis Rodman, you remember hanging from the rafter, the guys I just named hanging from the rafter, not to mention I played with some Hall of Famers, and I'm supposed to be in awe of him. And not to mention, Cedric, let's not forget, even though he dropped 63, we stepped all in his ass, did we not? I rest my case.
I absolutely love that story because people for a while have been talking about, well, Michael Jordan was a bully. And I said, I remember when we played with the Celtics during the 80s, we didn't have nobody who was a bully. We were just like a team that, if we had anything to say to each other, we said it, but there was never any confrontation. We just went on and played.
Well, you know for yourself, Cedric, everybody got their own style and the way they lead. Michael was in your face. He challenged his teammates. And as you know, Larry was our leader, but Larry led by example.
You know, he wasn't a vocal leader. You know, he let his play dictate how we should play. And I think Larry's style and philosophy makes the best leaders. Because if you are yelling and screamer, after a while your voice falls on deaf ears, and the players just kind of tone you out. They don't hear what you got to say. So I respect both leadership styles, but I prefer Larry's style the best. Because, you know, some nights, you know, you don't want to hear what he got to say. You know, speaking of Michael, he all up in your face talking trash. You know, he might get a short right, Max.
So, yeah, that was funny as hell. I love that. I didn't know what he was really gonna say, but I have never heard that story before. He said, "I ain't in all you. You know who the hell I play with, and I'm supposed to be in all you, and I was once on the team that swept you. Please get out of my face, boy." I love it, but you know what? That's Michael Jordan's former leadership. So when he sees Parish with no back down, Michael Jordan was so happy inside. This is the type of guy I want with me. Right here. No back down in him. I love it. I love that story. I love everything about it. And yeah, he's probably right. I can't see many people giving MJ any type of rebuttal, especially when he started talking trash. But he want that back, man. Show me you got some of that dog in you too. And Parish got that dog in him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Next video is Parish at age 43.
How about tonight, Dominic Wilkins, who is averaging 18.9 points per game, their leading scorer right now. Now he's hurt.
And Michael Jordan just passed
5 rebounds
into the
in 15 seconds.
Scoring list on Monday night. The Chief misses. Dickie Simpkins is in and misses. Fight got a piece of that. Parish draws the foul as he battles for the rebound, and this is where Robert Parish will come in handy in the playoffs, giving the Bulls whatever minutes they need from him with his experience, and he is still physical down on the block. Mike wanted to set the high pick and roll, but Maxwell took it to the hoop too early. Greg Anderson misses. Loose ball collected by Anderson. Vernon, he'll shoot it. Parish with the rebound.
Both teams struggling with the scoring percentage. Both teams under 40% in the first quarter.
Look at that nice pass, the miss lay and then the follow.
How about the Chief? Gets an average about 7 minutes, but 7 minutes like that where he can go, use his entire
Those must have been all those rebounds right there on those tip
shots,
attempts.
which he's done consistently. Here's a good example.
One,
there was a push-off. Right here,
two,
he's working. Watch this.
Three,
Size
four,
just keeps his arms up there above everyone else.
I think that was him on that first one. Hold on.
5 rebounds already.
And watch this. There was a push-off. Really gets second and third shots, which he's done consistently. Here's a good example.
No, I was wrong.
Right here, he's working. Watch this. Size just keeps his arms up there above everyone
and then the
else.
other one before that was 5.
Able to hang in there in his 21st year in the league.
5 rebounds
on the previous
already
play
for Robert Parish off the bench. As I mentioned earlier, Phil Jackson didn't play Robert Parish much in December, January, February, starting to weave him into the lineup a little bit now just to get his legs under it, get him in shape for the playoff run. So Robert will be playing increasing minutes up to probably about 15 minutes a game as the Bulls head to the playoffs. Take a look at the scoreboard, Chuck. A 2-point game. 35% San Antonio. The Bulls are shooting 28%. Into Parish. Count the basket and the foul on Jamie Fight.
That was just a bad matchup. Parish wasn't even played, or he might have struggled to get a score.
Timeout on the floor. 4-point Bulls lead.
He's basketball. 90s basketball. 90s basketball. You can see there, still had his skill with him, still had his size, his tenacity. A bit slower than what we've seen in those Celtics highlights. Obviously, he's at age 43. But still, like they said, can bring you in on limited minutes and provide just what the team needs. Here's Robert Parish, folks. All right, next up is Robert Parish on 4 teams. The Chief.
Today, a look at the Chief, Robert Parish, who was the Warriors' first-round pick of the 76th draft. Vintage footage of Robert Parish in 1980, traded for the Celtics, where he played 14 years, winning 3 NBA titles as a member of the Boston Celtics. He's playing an NBA record 21st season. He's the all-time leader in games played. And at 43, Robert Parish, the oldest player currently in the NBA.
And who came to the rescue for Charlotte? The Chief. Rainbow jumper with 1.5 and near.
Robert Parish and Al Blister in the game. There's a lot of years in the middle there, Tom.
Yes, sir.
The announcement for the Chief, the reaction from the crowd.
Chief has more years, however, than Alton Lister.
Spin.
That makes it. Alton didn't bite on the fake, but it was just enough time for Robert to make the spin and get back to the shooting hand.
Good seeing him play, man. Wish I could have seen him play back when I really started watching basketball. I was so young. Hell, I mean, for a bulk of his career, I wasn't even born yet. I wasn't born until 87. All right, next one is just called Robert Parish, the Chief. Hands on that ball, baby. Sit down, boy. Give me that. Meet you at the rim. Meet you at the rim too. The anchor, baby. Love that dunk.
Jordan had the awareness with the clock winding down to find Robert Parish.
And he put a decent amount of people on a poster, man. A little shimmy shake there. Nutmeg.
First period. Larry Bird, Reed playing the tough defense as usual in this series against him. Parrish has hit another one. Robert Parish now has a total of 4 points.
Well, they had a good set play that time. It was back pick by Ford on Malone. Then Malone fought through it, and when he got out there, Parish had already started his shot.
Very skilled big man. Both ends of the floor. All right, here's the last one, folks. This last video as part of this compilation is not Parish Highlights. It's actually Robert Parish knocks out Bill Laimbeer and the Chief explains it. All right, let's get into it.
And Bill Laimbeer, they run this thing in the Garden all the time where you're like knocking Bill Laimbeer to the floor and people start cheering. Yeah, how do you feel about that one?
I think the fans should let it go because I have let it go, in the heat of the battle. That the first time I ever lost control of my emotions and my temper. We exchanged a few unpleasantries towards one another. And so then a few elbows that passed between us. And then I just lost throwing punches. So.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's what I said. I couldn't believe I lost my composure like that. That was the first time ever. Yeah.
The thing that amazed me about that was not only did you lose control and you punched him down to the ground, but more than me was none of his teammates came to his rescue. I didn't see nobody go at you.
Yeah, I was kind of looking over my shoulder, Max. I thought I was going to get sucker punched, to be honest. But like you said, no one helped him. So I don't know what kind of message they were trying to send to him. I guess they had enough of his antics. I don't know what that was all about.
There you have it, folks. The Robert Parish compilation. Again, thank you, Dutch T, for putting all this hard work in, getting this stuff out to us. Robert Parish, no doubt, a great big man in the National Basketball Association, both ends of the floor, and was part of an iconic Boston Celtics team and played an important role in another championship team in the Chicago Bulls. Never forgotten, always praised. Robert Parish, kind of guy that anybody would want on their team for a plethora of reasons. Always showed up to work, always professional. Never had to tell him, hey, get up, we need you to get in the game. Always dialed in, knew what you're going to get from him. It's the type of guy you want. Y'all let me know what you think about it. You guys know more than me. You guys got to watch Parish play where I didn't. Some things you could watch all the highlights in the world to do your due diligence, but for the people that actually got to feel the impact of a real game, that's a whole nother feeling, and that's brand new context. Your stories are the best ones. Let me know in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and I'll catch you on the next one. We out, baby.